So I was listening to a song called Back the Block, and it got me thinking about how, um, you could buy real estate and just um, use it as rental properties, which I may or may not have touched on in a couple of videos, or you could also kind of be buying up businesses, and a business can create a different level of revenue versus just a simple rental property, depending on what kind of rental property and what kind of business. A single house, if you're trying to rent it out, you might get the cost of the mortgage plus, 50 or $100 a month, maybe a little more depending on the neighborhood. Um, you buy a business if they're doing, good sales, maybe, you cover the lease, and then you potentially are making thousands of dollars instead of hundreds of dollars. It always going to depend on, price points of the properties that you're trying to buy or lease, and then it's going to depend on the kind of margins you're making off the rent and or business that's being run. And obviously a business is a little bit more hands-on than just dealing with tenants, but that's something you could either run yourself or have put someone that's business minded in to manage it for you, just in the same way that you could get a property manager to manage properties if you have multiple rental properties, or if you have an apartment complex. You're probably not going to want to deal with 50, 100 plus tenants, so you hire a property manager to deal with something like that. A lot of people like the idea of getting real estate for the purpose of, they refer to it as passive income. I don't know, it's sort of between active and passive, because if you don't have a property manager, then you're actively dealing with tenants, and you're dealing with any problems like broken toilet, or a leaky window, or whatever. If in colder climates, if a window's not sealed properly, you're letting all the cold air in during the winter. Just little things that you would have to actively deal with, but when you're not dealing with that, it would be more passive. So people like real estate for the idea that's theoretically passive, but there's a potentially high barrier to getting started in real estate. But once you cross that threshold of having the down payment to get your first rental property, then you put someone in there, they start paying the mortgage, and once that's paid down enough, you can actually borrow against a place. You can get a home equity line of credit and borrow money to get the next place. And there's lots of videos out there that on YouTube that talk about that strategy of borrowing against your first place to buy your second place, and then you know with the renters in each place paying both properties down, you pay down the second enough, you can borrow against the second to buy the third, and eventually you have a little bit of money coming in from multiple places. So it all depends on your goal, how you want to deal with real estate. There's people that just buy and flip houses. They're not interested in rental. Buying and flipping houses, you might make $10,000 or $20,000 on flipping a house. If you need to remodel it, you might have to sink more money into it than the initial cost of buying the house, but then the money you'll get from selling the house may or may not be a higher amount. You might buy a place for $100,000, put $20,000-$30,000, sell it for $150,000. Great. That $100,000 house, without the remodeling, you might have only gotten $105,000, $110,000 if you were lucky. So that $20,000 or $30,000 you're putting into remodeling, even after taking into consideration buying the house and remodeling the house, you're still making more profit than just buying and reselling. So there's different strategies for real estate, and there's a lot of videos how to get passive income, and if you do a couple of different strategies for passive income in addition to your job, you can save up enough money to buy that initial first property. So I will try to do another video on passive income. I know I've done a couple, or I've done one that was comparing and contrasting passive income versus active income, so might touch on that again too. Hopefully you found some value in this. If you like the topic, hit the like button so I can know to do more like the videos like this. And if you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification if you like the video, so you can YouTube will notify you when I do new videos. Thanks, and have a good day.